Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Up North for the Weekend. It's been kind of a long-awaited episode and a long-awaited step. I've been wanting to get back to this for a few weeks now, so today's finally the day. We're gonna put some siding. We're gonna put some T111 siding on the workshop here, and I'm gonna get the windows put in. I got 4 windows to put in. Should be a pretty fun project today. So I'll be right back with you. I'll show you more of what we got going on. Okay, so as you can see, I spent another several $100s at Lowe's getting some siding here. I got 12 sheets of this. I think it's 5/8 T111 siding. I got my tools with me, of course. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna start here on this wall. I think I'm just gonna lay the sheets over all one piece, and then when all the sheets are up, I'm gonna cut these windows out. We got kind of a lousy weekend here as far as weather goes. It's not raining here at the moment, but tomorrow they're calling for rain and snow mix. So we'll see how much I actually get done here. So yeah, anyway, we're gonna start with the T111. I gotta get all the tools unpacked, and then we'll get cracking. I probably could have gotten a lot cheaper and just got plywood to do the siding, but in the long run it wouldn't have been any cheaper, because then I would have had to house wrap it and put something else over the plywood or paint it or something, and this just looks better. I'm using the framing nailer because that's the only nailer I got, and it's probably wasteful, but it serves the same purpose and it'll be just fine, so don't get too mad at me. I can tell already this wind is not going to be fun. Okay, so the first 2 panels are up. I'm trying to figure out a rhythm here to kind of get into a flow. But yeah, I'm going to throw a level on this and just make sure that everything is straight. Looks about good enough to me. I got 1 full panel left, and then I got to cut 1 in half to get the end on, so we'll do that next. So having these little nailers at the bottom is definitely the only way that I'm able to do this by myself. There's no way I could hold the panel up at the right spot and nail it, and everything else would fight the wind, so having these little screws is definitely the way to go. Okay, so this is where we're at so far. I got the first wall done, almost done. I gotta go up on the ladder and nail the top up there. So it's three whole sheets. I kind of eyeballed the spacing at the bottom. It's close enough. I'm just gonna flush cut it at the top there, right at the top of the plate, so it'll all be even. All right, so I got 3 out of the 4 sides just about done. I'm gonna be short a few sheets actually. It's not going too bad. It's not perfect at all, you know, by any stretch of the imagination here, but you know, it's a workshop, it's a shed type thing. So I got 3 sheets left in the truck. I'm gonna put a sheet over here, a sheet over here. I'll have to cut a slice up for the top above the door there, and then we'll see what we got left. See what time it is. It won't take me much longer here, but we're getting there. Wind does not help the situation at all. Okay, so we got a couple of the windows cut out. I'm gonna put these 2 windows in. These are just some El Cheapo 18 by 36 single hung with a screen built in. Okay, so we got these two windows in. I'm kind of running out of daylight. I still got to go to the store and get dinner. It's like 2 o'clock. And it's supposed to snow tomorrow morning. I'd like to rig up some sort of a temporary roof, put up some sort of a ridge beam type thing, drape some tarps over it, so at least I'm not out in the snow tomorrow working. And then I'll be able to kind of stay out of the weather and keep everything as, you know, a little bit better covered in here and whatever. So okay, change of plan. I'm going to set the ridge board now. I wanted to wait until after the windows were done, but I want to get this covered. So I did a little bit of a calculation here. I measured dead center of each end wall to get my run, and then for a 10-12 pitch, my rise is 50 5/8, so I got to cut a couple of 2x4s 50 5/8 long, and then I'll put 2 smaller pieces on either side, and I'll set the ridge board right in that little pocket, and then that'll hold it. That'll hold tarps over the whole entire thing until I get the rafters put up. This is going to sit right up straight on top of the top plate, and then my ridge board will go right in the middle of this, and then I'll nail a couple of cross braces to keep it from going side to side, and that'll be my temporary ridge board support. I'm going to have one of these on either end. Alright, so I'm just going to set this right on the center mark, and I'm going to toe nail it, and hopefully it'll be good enough to hold it while I cut some cross bracing here. Nope. This needs to come over just a hair. You want 60 3/4 to the center of that 2x4. That's pretty good. Go back just a touch. That's good there. It's about as good as we're going to get right there, so. Okay. Now I can always fine tune this when I go to start working on the rafters, but this gets us pretty close, and I'll be able to drape the tarps over the ridge there. So I just got to do a couple more braces, and then we'll be ready to put the ridge up. This is going to be fun. So I got a 2x8 ridge that's going to go up in that pocket. This is probably not going to be fun, most likely. Yeah, I was right. This is not fun. Only slightly terrifying. I'm going to try and lean up against the wall so I can minimize the risk of me killing myself here. All right, this is where we're at. I got that ridge beam set. That sucked completely. I didn't want to, it's too windy, I think, for the tarp to go up over that high. So I just kind of I took a second piece of 2x8 and ran it across right on the top of the wall there, and I just ran the tarp over that, got it nice and tight. And I'm just gonna hope that the wind doesn't whip too hard and rip the tarp off. We'll check it in the morning. I know we're supposed to get a little bit of snow early in the morning, and I think before I leave tomorrow, I'm just gonna take that piece of plywood off the door. I put some plywood over the door here to board up and keep the wind out best I could, but I'm gonna pull that off tomorrow. I got plenty more tarp to lay down inside there in case the roof tarp blows off, which I'm probably expecting to happen. But that's where she is now. Whatever I do tomorrow is going to depend a lot on the weather. They're saying snow in the morning, like I said, and might change over to rain, so I don't know, we'll see. But I'm tired and I'm hungry, so it's looking like a structure, so we're getting there. So yeah, this is probably going to be, I don't know, we'll see how tomorrow, we'll see if I end up doing anything tomorrow. This might be the end of part 2 of the workshop build, yeah, if not, I'll film some more tomorrow. We'll see how the weather goes, see what it looks like when I wake up in the morning. But anyway, yeah, so as always, I appreciate you guys watching, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one.